this will go here,
Okay.
and then the right is here.
This is the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know, it's very hot, or is it my imagination?
not really.
No,
No?
but it's not, right? I don't know, maybe I'm old and something's wrong. Kevin is old, that's why.
Is that a width and a half or two width?
I think so.
Okay, this is good. Okay. 110. Stop. Three, two, one. Point at it. Okay. One. Go ahead. Okay. Okay.
This is how you put a traverse rod together that's considered a center open traverse rod. These tracks usually have few components. The first component that you need to know about is the body of the track itself. And then you also have these masters they call a male master and a female master, and these two go over one another. You also have the cord in the track, as well as you have the carriers that carry the drapes back and forth. You also have these tension pulleys which what the cord goes through. Now in addition to those, you have these brackets. There are two different types of brackets. This is what they call the end brackets, and these are drop-in brackets. And the way they work, it's very simple. All they do, the track gets dropped in here, and then right here, it gets mounted to the wall. Now, your center bracket, however, it's a different type of a bracket, and the way this one works is just clips over the rod, and it gets snapped onto the rod, and this is also where it gets mounted into the wall. Now that we have those, we also have what it's called a tension pulley. This tension pulley is there for the cord, and it keeps the cord in place and keeps it tight. There is just one more step I need to share with you before mounting these, and that is how to go about adjusting the cord on the masters. So this is how you go about adjusting the cord on the masters and making sure that both masters, the female and the male master, meet in the center. It's really simple. The first thing you want to do is just mark the center of the track, which is what I have done. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my center bracket onto the rod. I'm just going to simply snap it on there so that I have a place that I know this is where I want my masters to meet. By holding it up, I can pull my track, I can pull my cords, and you see they're not meeting in the middle. They're meeting over here. So what I'd like to do is just have them go all the way to the end, and then I just hold on to the cord, and then I turn this around, and I can just, by holding the cord in my hand, making sure the cord doesn't move, I will move my female master all the way to the end. Once I've got it all the way to the end, there's a cord loop right here and there's a little groove on the back of this. So what I do is I just simply pull this cord out like this, and then I thread over this little groove that I've got back here. And I go ahead and just snug on the cord a little bit to make sure that it's tight. Now that I've adjusted it all the way to the end, that means it's going to meet in the center. So here it is. Now they are meeting in the center, they are overlapping one another, and so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to go about mounting it now. So this is how we go about mounting a traverse rod. And for those of you who are not mounting a traverse rod with this particular package, you're welcome to go ahead and skip this section and go to the next section of the video. So what we like to start with is that we always like to start with our center bracket. This is after measuring the center of your window. We would like to have you go ahead and put this up. So how you go about measuring this is that you measure your drapery length and find out what your drapery length is. You add 1/2 inch to it, so that keeps them off the ground and not having them touching the floor. And then that's where the top of this is going to go. In this particular case, this just happens to be right above the window frame. So I'm going to ask our installer to go ahead and put this up first. Now that we've got the center bracket up, what I'd like to do is I like to also make sure that the center of the rod is marked. So I have went ahead and done this already by just putting a pencil mark on there. And this is where the two masters meet, right in the center. That's where that mark is going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and have our installer go ahead and just snap it up there. Now that we've got the rod up and we've got it centered, it's really easy from here on. All you have to do is just take these end brackets that they have this cup shape to them, and this particular one will go onto the right, so it gets mounted to the wall this way, and then the rod just simply lays on the inside of that. So I'm going to ask Memo to go ahead and put that up for us. So the next step is to just go ahead and make sure that the pulley is put on the cord, and then we're going to go ahead and adjust the cord. So all you have to do is just simply go ahead and put the cord through the side of this little pulley. You see this pulley has this little groove on the side. It's not completely closed. It has this little opening. So all I do is just simply take the cord and slip it right through the side, and it will fall right inside of there and goes around the pulley. Now all we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and mount this pulley onto the baseboard. So this is the final step. You will notice the fact that you have all this extra cord. So in order to get rid of it, it's really simple. All you do is just reach out on the back of the male master. You will find there are two nuts back there. You want to pull on the one that's giving you, not the one that's not. This one actually does allow to have the excess cord pulled out. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep pulling on it until I get all the tension and the excess out of there. Once I have done that, I like to take the same cord and follow it up by pulling it up and making sure that the entire tension pulley is pulled up. this will give me access to go ahead and put a loop nut inside of this cord by just putting a simple loop nut like this. Now that I have this done, I'll take my scissors and I'll go ahead and cut the excess off. And then I'll go ahead and take this cord out. And I've got a little extra string here. I can just simply go ahead and cut that. And then I'll pull on it. And now I've got a nice tension pulley and cord that makes these to go back and forth very easily and simple. So we're putting up one of our French 5-piece combos today, and in order to do this, we always like to go ahead and start with the crown. The crowns are usually mounted between 6 to 10 inches above the window. This measurements depending on how much space you have above the window. In this particular window, we are putting it 6 inches above the window frame. Since you're using our Perfect Swag technology, we made it really simple for you to put these up. All you have to do is measure from the orbit to the end of this rod where your top bracket is gonna go, and this particular window happens to be 28 inches, which is half of the window, and all of these are already labeled. So all you have to do is just mount the bracket at 28 inches. This happens to be the top bracket for the scroll, and they are usually mounted 10 inches above the window. That's where we're going to start. Now that the hardwares are mounted up, all you have to do is just simply go ahead and take a look at which one of your swags is it left or right. Once you have identified that, you just want to go ahead and simply take the wire that we provide. This is our patent technology, and simply go ahead and put it through the pocket. And once it's up on the pocket, you're ready to go ahead and mount the swag up. As you can see it, our Perfect Swags now are already dressed up, so you don't have to worry about trying to go ahead and dress them up like we used to. And I'm gonna go ahead and have our installer put this up for us. So for those of you who are putting up our traverse rod with our French 5-piece combo, this is the next step where you actually go ahead and put your drapes up. All your drapes do come with the hooks on the back of them, and they're ready to be put up. So we have taken the swags down for the time being, so we can show you how to go by putting these up. The first step is the drapes, the second one is the side panels, and the third step is your swags. So now we're going to go ahead and put up the drapes. The drapes all have also a pocket in them, and they're really easy to put up. What I like to do is I like to also, on the end of the draperies, I like to go ahead and measure out about 5.5 inches, or depending on the amount of projection that I have on the windows. And then I usually like to go ahead and just splice the fabric on the back here. I like to go ahead and just put a splice in there, and then creating a hole only on the back of the fabric, not in the front. This will allow me to have to use this as what we call the return. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take my wire and start from that hole and work my way out to the beginning of the drapes. Now that I've got it up on both ends, and I also have my return, then I'm just gonna go ahead and have our installer put these on the back of these scrolls that already have the studs in them. Made it more like a home now.
Yes.
Wow. It's a grand look.
You keep saying you would transform.
It really
but I
is. The
didn't
nighttime
quite
shot,
visualize
love
it.
it.
Of course,
I think
it's
that's
always,
it.
it's always the case.
And look at that beauty. Good job. Okay, good. So to put the return on there, what we do is we just simply go ahead and put a hook that's provided with your package. This hook gets placed almost to the end of where the fabric is, and then there's a screw that goes on the wall, and that gets rested on there. And this will give you a nice finished look all the way around, so you will not be able to see the drapes that are underneath, and gives you complete, perfect swag. So now we're going to go ahead and put our swags up. And to put the swags up, we made it very, very simple. Having the perfect swag technology now, all you have to do is just simply take the two strings that comes in these swags, tie them together, make a loop, and just simply rest it on the back of the crown that has a center stud in it. Your holdbacks are very simple to put up. We like to have these mounted around 48 inches from the floor up. You mark to the center of that, and that's where you mount your mounting bracket. Once you have done that, you just simply go ahead and put your rosette on there, and then we're ready to go ahead and do the final touches. So the final step, which is my favorite step, is the dressing of the drapes. To do this, it's really simple. All you have to do first is just simply use your hand as a guide and try to create some pleats on these draperies by using your fold hand in between and creating some pleats. I usually like to hold them like this, and I just like to go ahead and follow my hand on the top to get those creases in there really nice and deep. Now, then once I have some folds in there, I'm just gonna go ahead and simply start from the bottom of the fabric, from the lower part of the drapes, about 30 inches off the floor, and work my way up, trying to grab those same pleats back up, working up towards the holdback. And once I have it there, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the fabric and I'm gonna simply rest it over the holdbacks. Once I have rested there, then I'm just gonna go in here and pull the pleats out. And the last step is just simply putting the puddle on the drapes. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the fabric, fold it inward, and go ahead and create a puddle on the floor. So as you can see, we went ahead and put up this DIY project. It's a very simple project to put up. I hope this has been helpful instructions for you. If we missed anything, please feel free to go ahead and leave us your comments below. And we look forward to hearing from you. And if you're interested in this type of work, please feel free to go ahead and visit our website at galaxy-design.com.